Aha! How are you guys? Welcome to this new episode, which we will talk about which Camino to choose. The main question of all beginners of Camino de Santiago: which Camino is the best for me? What to have in mind? What should I do? And I had this problem before, and I've seen many videos, and I walked many Caminos, and now I make videos, so I can give you a little bit of my point of view on which different circumstances to have in mind: time, money, and the fitness. So if you would like to know more, welcome to this video. And I kind of feel that after the end of watching it, you have no doubt about which Camino to choose. But this is only my feeling. So today we're going to talk about two Caminos only. Two Caminos, approachable and easy for everyone, but in 5 different variations. First two Caminos is the French and Portuguese Camino. The French, UNESCO heritage, the most famous, known, renowned. Netflix talks about that. Hollywood talks about it. Martin Sheen talks about it.
Martin Sheen, that's President Kennedy, you idiot!
Maybe even Charlie Sheen talks about it, or maybe he doesn't. This is this life-changing experience that has to be done at least once in your life. But not everyone likes the most famous things. Not everyone goes to Vatican to see the Pope. Some people go to Vatican to have a pizza. So that's why I have a different Camino you can offer, the Portuguese Camino, which is another easy, accessible to all Camino, which is absolutely visually and sensually stunning. So those two would be our main focus. Just imagine you have 1 week of holidays, so you are capable of doing 2 Caminos. The last 100 kilometers of a French one and the last 100 kilometers of Portuguese. 1 week is just enough because 100 kilometers could take you 5 to 6 days. First one, the most famous, the most popular, Sarria Santiago, which is the one which is chosen by many first-time pilgrims. And why? It's not too difficult. It has some hilly nature, but it's easily approachable for all ages and for all physical shapes. Has many services involved, included. There's lots of accommodation, there's lots of bars, restaurants, doctors. It passes through many cities, and it is popular. But this popularity can be actually a con, because it gets really busy. Have to book your accommodation up front. If you see the holidays, Easter holidays, as well as the summer holidays, it probably is going to be really busy. You can see my videos about it on the channel, but this would be one of the first one to have in consideration if you're not sure if this Camino thing is for you. Getting to Sarria is so easy. You grab the bus and Santiago bus station, or you can even grab the bus from the airport. But then, if you prefer something different, something not as crowded, something about with a more different landscape, I could propose you to consider last 100 kilometers of Tui to Santiago. And now someone asks, why 100 kilometers? Because there is a tradition that once you finish the 100 kilometers, you are eligible to get the Compostela, which is the certificate that you have finished the Camino de Santiago, which you can take it home and you can show it to your family. Happy days! Yeah! Camino from Tui to Santiago, which is this Portuguese Camino, it's around 114-16 kilometers of amazing views. Food is so good, I cannot even tell you. You actually start in Tui, which is just on the border of Portugal and Spain. So you can have a lunch in Portugal, you can have a early dinner in Spain and you can wake up next day and start your walk. Sounds cool, no? A little small fishermen villages, charm of the coast, little islands on the side, La Isla Rosa. There are so many things to see. And one of the big pros is the hidden gem of Camino de Santiago. The spiritual variants take you through undiscovered land, and even more gratefully on the boat trip, which you can see the Via Crucis, which is a special Camino de Santiago made on the coast, only visible from the boat. Amazing stuff. So this is the alternative. The getting to Tui, it's really easy as well. You just grab the bus from the Santiago bus station and you get there straight away. Any cons? So during the summer it could get a bit busy. Many people could choose this way to walk and enjoy it. So, and now to consider two extra circumstances, which would be money and fitness level. If we're talking about expenses, the Portuguese Camino from Tui to Santiago would be a bit more expensive because it's not as popular. But the difference is not really big. The difference could be just slight extra few euros on accommodation. If you want to send the baggage from here to there, I know that charging maybe 1 or 2 euros more. Is it worth it? Might be. But expensive wise, the French Camino from Sarria de Santiago is a bit more accessible. What about fitness? I'm pretty sure that the Portuguese last 100 kilometers is easy way.
It's all relaxed, shoulders all relaxed.
For everyone. There is only one downhill which is next to Redondela. Otherwise, it's an easy walk. Whereas in Sarria Santiago, you will have few different things to climb and walk. Not difficult though. Don't get discouraged because it's easily for all. But if we compare those two, and the Tui to Santiago Portuguese last 100 kilometers, it's much easier. Yeah! So now the second group. Imagine that you have 2 weeks off. Not 1, but 2 weeks off. In this segment, we're gonna compare a French part from Astorga to Santiago, passing by Sarria, and from Porto to Santiago, passing through Tui. Astorga to Santiago. I think this is one of the most beautiful routes in Camino Frances, the French part, that you can actually do. That has around 230-40 kilometers, 11-12 days of walking, depending of your strength, your physical fitness, and many other variations. There are a few things that I'd like to mention. The first one of the stages is Foncebadon. Have it in mind, because I don't know if you know the tradition of the stone, or something valuable for you that you put all your prayers, all your wishes. In Foncebadon there is a famous Cruz de Ferro, the iron cross, that you can leave your worries and you can walk the Camino a different way. I don't know if you remember, during the movie with Martin Sheen, he took the ashes of his son through France, through the beginning, through all those days until getting to that point, and sprinkle them over there. And I have to tell you, this is important point of the Camino. And there are other important points. Astorga itself. How are you today? We're in Astorga, and I want to tell you something important. With magnificent architecture, the Cathedral of Astorga, I could say it's one of the nicest ones all over the world. Not even mentioning the Gaudi's castle, not even mentioning the Ocebreiro magical mountain, which is just entrance to Galicia. Wow, big stuff, amazing walk. Actually, this is one of the places that, if you wish, we can go together, we can choose it, and we can organize a little trip, because I love this place so much, this particular period. And the cons. It can get busy, because it's a French Camino, it can get busy. I wouldn't book accommodations on this particular period before Sarria, but it still can get a bit busy and you will see much more people around. Alternative, it's a Porto to Santiago. I don't have to tell you anything about how magnificent it is to start in Porto, cross entire Portugal, northern part of Portugal, and 260 kilometers getting to Santiago. We have a coastal part, we have a part that you can go inside of Portugal. Few different options there, and around 14 days of walking, a bit longer than Astorga to Santiago. People love it. People say it's easy. It's easy for a long walk, many pleasant people, and the mixture of the cultures makes it something unforgettable. Place, it's still not as popular as a French Camino, so you might find the space for yourselves, find the space to connect to others. That's definitely good mixture of all positive things.
Food!
So if you're in Astorga and you like meat, you're gonna stay there forever, because they are just all about meat. If you're in Porto, they're all about seafood, wine. They have a Porto wine, they have a green wine. There are so many things that you can experiment on those two different Caminos. Which one to choose? Oh, that's a difficult one. So if we put in consideration two other aspects, which is the money and the physical strength, I think that Astorga to Santiago is a much more pocket friendly. Why? Because it's much more popular, has more services, lower prices, so you can find yourself something nice. The difference obviously is not really huge, like comparing, for example, with Camino del Norte. In Camino del Norte you can find, especially in the first part, not as many albergues, so many stays have to be in the small B&Bs or in the small private huts, and it could cost you twice as normal. I remember last year two guys from Poland, they switched from Camino del Norte in Santander, which is after maybe even 10 days of walking, to French one because they couldn't afford walking over there. So as you can see, the price can vary from the Camino to Camino, but if you compare the Portuguese and the French from Astorga, probably would be more expensive the Portuguese one. And the physical part, yeah, the physical part, you have to prepare yourself for Astorga, because just from Astorga you have Fonsebadon. After you have to go down for some time. It's kind of a downhill, difficult to walk, and then you have another of the walks that will be in your memory forever, Osebreiro, which is another mountain to climb. People are really afraid of it, people are really scared of it. It can be done maybe in 2 goes, you can stay somewhere in between, but comparing this hike to a Portuguese straight road, it seems like a big difference. So have it in mind. Portuguese from Porto is rather for everyone. It's rather for you, for your mother, for your dog, for everyone who wishes to experiment Camino de Santiago with absolutely no preparation, apart obviously of constant daily walking, which is already a big effort. No big deal, prepare yourself before and enjoy the Camino. But you have to know about those things. Yeah! And the 5th last route that you could consider as your to-go first Camino is the Camino Frances from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port.
They have around. I have a joy just to be here in this little garden on the top of this thing, and look at that. All the village is just over there. And you know what? Look at that! And that's Roncesvalles. And this is where I stay, and this is my albergue. Wow.
It's called Camino Franceses, but actually Camino that passes through entire Spain as has one stage in France. That's how it's called. I have to tell you that people will write books and make movies about Camino de Santiago for some reason. And this route has something special in it.
Harry Potter!
I don't know if it's about the energy, I don't know, I don't want to go too mystical about it. I don't know if it's about the tradition, what people think. I don't know. I will make it, you decide, you judge yourself. I have my own opinion, which I keep for myself, otherwise they're gonna block me from YouTube. And I know many people, I promise you, I know many people who did different caminos before, different long caminos. The Norte del Portuguese from Lisbon. But you know what? They always want to go and try to do the French one from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. That is the spirit, that is a tradition of Camino de Santiago, and it has to be done. If you have 1 month of holidays, because I think the Camino can be done in around 30 to 35, 37 days, you have nothing to lose. There is few important hikes. Only the first stage is crossing the Pyrenees. Then we have a La Meseta, which is the long distance that absolutely nothing passes, and the stage doesn't never finishes. And then you have a Fonsebadon, then you have Ocebreiro Mountains. Yeah, there's so many things going on outside and the same time inside, because I strongly believe that Camino de Santiago is something that you experience also inside. Money-wise, it can be expensive. And depending how you organize your trip. Comparing to other Caminos, not expensive. As you know, you can spend 15 euros or $15 for the hostel albergue. You can forego something for a bit higher level, like Airbnb or like a single room just for yourself with attached bathroom. It costs you a bit more. So it all depends on you, how much you have and how much you would like to spend. If you want more information, there is actually a video that I did about expenses of Camino de Santiago. Go have a look and then judge by yourself. Fitness. You have to prepare yourself. Let's be honest. You have to. If you don't, you're gonna suffer, because few mountains to pass, many kilometers. It is 800 plus kilometers. So if you do without preparation, you call the Avengers and you say, listen, I'm a new superhero, please accept me to the team. Otherwise,
Avengers!
prepare yourself. If you choose to do this one, prepare yourself before. If you choose to do this one, organize it in the way that your health, your physical conditions won't be a problem. That's my biggest wish. And that was the 5th route. So we had 2 1 kilometer ones, 2 middle range ones, and 1 long distance one as the first Camino for beginners that you can do. And many of people actually, to be honest, repeat the Camino many times. Next year I'm gonna do again French Camino and Portuguese and Primitivo. So many of them to be done. But each of them is something special. Go with your heart. After seeing what is there, after listening to me and to other people, please inform yourself well. Sit, close your eyes and feel which decisions you want to make. Doesn't have to be super logical. Has to be something that you feel inside. Because Camino de Santiago is an inside journey rather than outside journey. That's all from me to you. If you feeling like more information, we're gonna give shortly the ultimate guide for Camino de Santiago and few other things for beginners, and not only, because everyone needs some information. Enjoy your Camino anywhere you will go, and see you and give you a big hug. Yeah.